Somebody just wished you a happy birthday from New Zealand.
Oh, thank you very much. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora. Kia ora.
All right. Awesome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us this evening across Australia, or across New Zealand, and maybe across Asia as well. Wherever you are in the world, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad that you are here. Very excited to introduce a very special speaker to you this evening. This gentleman, for the past 35 years, has been breaking records in the fields of sales and network marketing. He's a serial entrepreneur who has built organizations that have numbered in the tens of thousands internationally. He is also a public speaker and a business coach, an adventurer, a father of 8 rabbits, aka his children, and he is also a philanthropist. And what I mean, well, just one of the most recent examples of that is he is building homes for families in Africa. And the founders of ASEA were so taken by this goodwill, by this good heart, that they, out of their own pocket, are also going to build some homes in the same village and name it after the gentleman that you're going to hear from this evening. So I want you to put a very warm, virtual Zoom round of applause together, at least in the chat box. Give a few welcomes and hoorays to our speaker ambassador, Triple Diamond Mal Sword, who is heading the fastest growing organization in this company. So we're very, very lucky to have him here. Thank you very much, Sword Master. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Stevie. Thank you very much. And as I just said before, happy birthday for yesterday. And once again, thank you very much for hosting this and this session for me. So I really appreciate it. I'm actually getting schooled in Facebook. I've got a mate of mine helping me to try and upskill a little bit so that I'm going to get on top of this technology business. But if you're on this call and you're like me, you're not very technologically experienced, then that's fine. You can build a very large business without it. As you know, I built this from my living room with a telephone, so you don't need to be high tech to build this. I'm just trying to upskill a little bit. But anyway, good evening, everybody, wherever you are. I know there's people from Australia and also from New Zealand, and I think also a number of people on this call from Asia. So good evening and welcome. Welcome to this presentation. And I hope that we will be through, just to give you an idea for your own timing. We should be done by about 5:45. So it normally takes about 40 minutes for me to go through the presentation. And I'm happy if you put some questions. If you've got questions, put them in the chat. And if we've got a little time at the end, maybe Stevie and I can come back to those questions at the end. So let's go through. Let's start, obviously, welcome. And let me introduce you to this absolutely incredible technology. And this is being hailed as the greatest scientific and health breakthrough, probably health is a better word, I think, breakthrough of our time. And when I first heard that many years ago now, end of 2014, it kind of took me back a little bit. I thought, well, that's a pretty big statement. But in the last 4 years since I've been developing this company, working with this technology, I've come to believe that this is a truly incredible breakthrough. And we're told probably the most significant breakthrough in our lifetime, and probably 15 to 20 years ahead of its time. So it is an incredible technology, incredible breakthrough. So you're obviously at the right place at the right time. Thank you, Stevie. So the business is developed word of mouth. It needed to be developed this way, and it enables every single person on the call to generate an income, serious income. And I recognize at these times that many people are gravitating to this business for lots of reasons. Number one, you can build it at home. Number two, it's not capital based. You don't need capital. We're already capitalized. It's effort based. It's enterprise based, and you can build this completely from home. And there are many of you on the call who, right now, I'm going to suggest, an extra $1,000 a month right now, $2,000 or $3,000 a month right now is life changing. And it was for me when I looked at this 4 years ago. When I started 4 years ago, when my journey started, I was in that situation. At that stage, and I won't go through all the details, but even a small amount of $100 a week was very helpful for me. back in those days. So take out of this what you will. This is a smorgasbord. We can talk about incomes, but a lot of you are here for even $500 a month, $1,000 a month. You can do that with this opportunity. Work together with the person who invited you, and you can build that very quickly. But it does enable you to build a very generous and a very serious income on a part-time basis. Part-time basis with a business like this is somewhere between, let's say, 8 to 15 hours per week. I had a number of conversations with people a day, and I said, look, if you can put in 2 hours a day, every day, 5-6 days a week, you can build this. You can build this very well with that period of time. So whilst it doesn't take money to build this, it does take enterprise. It does take, being active, being proactive with a business like this. Thank you, Stevie. So this is a view of the corporate headquarters, which were opened last year. This is an incredible company. It's the global leader in redox signaling-based health and anti-aging technologies. Well, in fact, it's the only one. It's not the leader. It is the leader, but it's the only company. This is the only company on planet Earth that produces these bioactive redox signaling molecules. You can't buy them anywhere else. There's nobody else that makes it, and very heavily protected. In fact, there's only 5 people on the planet that know how to produce these redox signaling molecules. An incredible company. You're seeing the mountains in Utah behind the building. Company also, I should mention, is debt-free. They carry no long-term debt. Very well run, incredibly well run by these 2 men, the gentleman on the left, who remains probably one of the most significant human beings I have met in my lifetime, Vertus Norton. There's a very good link, a very good short video that you can watch if you go to YouTube. It's called The Genesis of a Seer. And I would recommend you watch that. It gives you a very good insight as to the heart of this man, who he is, the integrity, the ethos. And look, it's probably the main reason I onboarded with this company. I wanted to be in business with this man. I wanted to do business with him and help him to do what I could in my small part to help Vertus develop this to a $1 billion company. That short link, the Genesis of a Seer, runs for 12-13 minutes. Will definitely give you an insight as to who he is. His background, just a little bit of information about him. He had come from a corporate background. He'd been the strategic vice president for Kraft Foods. Kraft is a $38 billion company. And he was really regarded, he's retired now, both from a CEO really, and also from the corporate life, but he's regarded as one of the who's who of corporate America. Incredible human being. And when he retired from Kraft, and he retired to Park City in Utah. And I think his wife had kind of hoped he'd retired, but Vertus wasn't quite ready to retire. And many of us are very grateful that he didn't retire. And he was invited to sit on the board of this biotech company that was developing this redox technology. They were running out of money, and they invited Vertus to sit on the board to help raise funds. Well, long story, but through the process, he ended up acquiring the technology. It wasn't yet stabilized when he acquired the technology, but subsequent to that, it was stabilized. And of course, Vertus has now stepped back, and the company is run by his son. There's an old saying that fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. And Tyler is really a chip off the old block. He's an incredible human being, incredible young man. And if you get a chance to go into YouTube and watch the ethos of a seer by Tyler Norton, it will also give you some insights into his life, his character, and who he is. So we're in very capable, very competent hands as we drive this technology forward into the markets of the world. Thank you, Stevie. So it was based on many years of research before the products were finally launched into the market in 2010. Its origins in terms of market was initially into America. That was the first market. It's where the company is based in Utah. You can see there on the bottom of the screen, ASEA owns their own production facility. There's only one of those in the world, and FDA registered, GMP and NSF compliant. So there is only one facility. There will only be one facility. They will never outsource this technology. They can scale this business very, very quickly. And in 2019, we turned 170 million. We grew it over 50% in 2019. We grew it over 50% in 2018, and we set the largest month of business, which is interesting, isn't it, in March 2020. And so this goes back a little bit. Sales exceed 100 million in 2017 and 170 million US in in 2019. And we forecast, the company's a little more conservative than this figure, but we forecast we'll take this to $1 billion within 5 to 7 years. The company's a little bit more conservative than that, but with what I see going on in Asia, I believe we can do that within 5 years. Thanks, Stevie. So perfectly positioned ahead of the growth that will come in the next 3 years in the health, wellness, and anti-aging industries. And I just want to make mention of the fact, I think I already did, that this technology is very heavily protected. If you're looking at this, you're a businessman, you're an entrepreneur, and looking to position yourself into the market with this technology, the things that were very important to me, very significant to me as a businessman, is that we don't have any competitor. There is nobody that competes with us in this space. This is not a super juice. It's not an antioxidant. This technology, redox molecules, are native to the human body. So being able to have access to this technology that's very heavily patented, the patents roll out 20 years in front of us. We don't have a competitor. I mean, for an entrepreneur, that's incredible and very timely, and been tremendous to have the privilege of being able to help drive this technology into the market. Thanks, Stevie. So it's just a snapshot of some of the top management on the left-hand side, and then on the right-hand side, you'll see in a second number of the medical advisory board. So we have a lot of people here. I know all of these people on the left-hand side, the management of this company, incredible human beings, and it's just an absolute privilege to be in business with these people. If you just pop one more, so these gentlemen here, in fact, a little bit later on this evening, I'm going to be interviewing Dr. David Sylvan. You'll see him close to the top right. He was a pediatric surgeon, and I'm actually doing it at 10 p.m. this evening. I'm doing an interview with him, which I'll have available. I'll let everybody have a copy of that in a couple of days. And it'll be the kind of questions that I think if you had somebody that sits on the board of ASEA and pediatric surgeon, and ask questions that I'm going to ask questions that I'm sure you'd like to ask, like, how did you make your way to ASEA, and what do you see the potential of ASEA? So we'll have that for you the next couple of days. But lots of people from medical background. Dr. Maureen Hayes, she was over here a little while ago, a GP from a general practitioner. Dr. Carl Smith, chiropractor. Dr. Foster Malmed, chiropractor. So you'll see a variety of different people from the medical profession, many of whom have laid down their traditional medical practices to full-time work on helping to drive this technology into the world market. Thanks, Stevie. So this is a snapshot of the countries that we are already operating in. Total now, I believe, is 33 countries. The most recent market addition has been Malaysia. And so this is really the sector that I'm most excited about, because it's our sector. Australasia is also the biggest populated region on the planet. People often ask me why I'm so excited about, the positioning that we have as Australians with this technology. And I say, well, because we sit on the doorstep of Asia with more than half the world's population, and they call it Australasia. They don't call it America Asia or Europe Asia. This is Australasia. This is our territory. And this will be the biggest region in the world. We operate now in 6 countries in Asia. I'll just mention those briefly. That we operate in Hong Kong, we operate in the Philippines, we operate in Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and Taiwan. 6 countries, 6 markets are open. And interestingly enough, the little country of Taiwan, many countries have been on board with ASEA now for a decade, for 10 years, a little bit over 10 years, including America and Canada and Mexico. And the US is still the largest market for this technology in the world, but number 2 is little Taiwan, and it's only been open, the market's only been open there 2 years. Number 3, by the way, is Australia. So we have 3 of the highest ranking builders of this technology in the world, and we're reaching out into New Zealand. We've got some incredible leaders coming through now in New Zealand, which is very exciting. To see some great leaders coming through in different regions in New Zealand. So it's very exciting. So we're looking forward very much to helping develop that market as well. Thank you, Stevie. So this is a very good chart, and it was interesting. Tyler recently at that convention, he showed a graph that his father produced. I think it was circa 2009, 2010. When Virtus was projecting the chart, and it's almost identical to this. And so Verdis absolutely knew that we were going in the right direction with the right technology at the right time in the world markets. But you can see that the growth we've had. And for those of you that know what a J curve is, you can see that we're on the J. And so, you know, we're post the risk. The risk is the first 5 years in any business like this, the first 5 years of the risk period, risk phase. So we're well past the risk phase. And now we're well onto the J curve. And the growth we're going to see with this technology in the next 5 years will be incredible. And, you know, so we are looking for key people. We're looking for people to help us to drive this into the markets and to help us to develop this as a billion-dollar company. For those of you that know a little bit about network marketing and the way that a network marketing company operates, there's top 100. They list the top 100. ASEA in 2018 was around 75. And we moved up over 30 places last year. We're now ranked 44 in the world. My belief is within the next 3 or 4 years, we'll be up into the top 5, top 10 companies in the world. And you can see why. We're growing very fast and reaching many, many markets with this incredible technology. Thanks, Stevie. So we also operate with this technology in 3 of the world's biggest markets, biggest industries. And these 3 industries represent over $4 trillion worth of business yearly and growing, significant growth year on year. And we have some of the most unique and advanced products in these industries with no competition. Again, you can't buy these anywhere else. You can't buy these redox molecules anywhere else. So these are the 3 markets we operate in: the health and wellness, athletic, and beauty and anti-aging. And in the Asian markets, especially the anti-aging properties of this technology, of these products, are phenomenal. A lot of Asians, all of us, I won't just say Asians, but all of us like to, you know, look a little bit younger and healthier. So huge potential for each of these 3 markets with these products. Thanks, Steve. So the products that do things that no other products can do, because they're the only products in the world with redox signaling molecules. And that is the beauty of this, is that we don't run against anybody else. We don't compete against anybody else. This is the only company in the world that produces them. Very heavily protected, as you can imagine. And we're in a very unique space. And again, these redox molecules, they're native to the human body. I think I'll cover that in a minute for you. But there's an old saying, isn't there? A picture paints 1,000 words. And you can look at the before and after shots, the above before and the below is the after shots. Interesting. Let me just speak to the 2 photos at the left-hand side of the screen. I know this lady quite well. Her name is Reidun Bone. She's a naturopath from Norway. Reidun is probably a 45, 47-year veteran in naturopathy. And a number of years ago, I think probably going back 7 or 8 years ago, a friend from America sent her a tube of the Renew 28, which is the topical version of these redox molecules, and said, look, try this on yourself and see the results. And but she said, before you start, make sure you take a photo, take a picture of yourself before you start. So Reidun did that. Fortunately, she did that. Anyway, after 3 weeks, she called a friend in America and she said, look, I don't really see that this is actually doing anything for me. I've been using it now for 3 weeks and I really don't see much difference. And a friend said, Reidun, did you take a photo when you started? And she said, well, yes, I did. And that's the photo at the top left-hand side of screen. And the photo at the bottom left-hand side of screen was the photo 3 weeks later on. Quite clearly, you can see a very substantial difference. Now, interestingly enough, I was with Reidun. We were at a conference, and for some of the leaders within this company in Hawaii in December. And I said to her, do you mind if I get a photo of your neck, please? Because it's actually even better than that now. And she's also 7, 8, 9 years older than that. So it's an incredible technology. The beauty of these photos with the redox molecules is you can visibly see what goes on using these molecules from the outside in. It's not always easy to see what the molecules do from the inside out, but you can assume that if this is what the molecules do from the outside in, you can imagine what they're also doing from the inside out. Thank you, Stevie. So this is a skincare range. The 2 products on the right-hand side contain redox molecules, and the Renew 28 is the product that I was just referring to. It's the gel version of the redox signaling molecules, topical gel, and you apply that externally. It's used on the outside in. And the product next door in the dark blue tube is the serum, the redox serum. and it is the most concentrated of the redox products that we have. And it is more concentrated than the Renew 28, and the Renew 28 is more concentrated than the liquid, than the redox molecules in a bottle. The two products on the left-hand side is a cleanser and a moisturizer. Do not contain redox signaling molecules, but many of the ASEA associates around the world asked the company to produce a skincare range because a lot of the women were using, products they were buying elsewhere. And they said, if you can, produce a skincare range, then we can buy them all inside the company. So this was released in June of 2016, this range. Thanks, Stevie. And this, of course, is the marquee product. This was the first product that came to market, and ASEA ran with this product only for, I think, 3 years. They ran from 2009 to 2012 only with this product, and subsequent to that, they developed these other products. They developed the Renew 28. Interestingly enough, that came about. There's an interesting story. Vertus was flying somewhere, and he was sitting in business class next to a man who had all these chemistry papers out, and they struck a conversation together on the plane, and it was that gentleman, I don't know his name, but it was that gentleman that managed to turn the liquid into a gel form, which is the Renew 28. So thin threads that have connected these products. Thanks, Stevie. Many of our athletes, many global athletes using the product, you can't be drug tested. It's not a drug. So you can't be tested for it. You can't be allergic to it. You can't overdose on it. The most that I've heard anybody drink of this product was a gentleman called James Lawrence. They call him the Iron Cowboy. And in 2015, James Lawrence did 50 Ironman events in 50 days in 50 different states in America. You can Google him. They call him the Iron Cowboy. And he drank 3 bottles a day for endurance and to recover, so he could go on the next day and do another Ironman event. We have Olympic athletes, Cody Miller, top left of screen, won gold recently in Rio, and many of the world's leading athletes. We believe that within 5 years, you as an athlete will be at a disadvantage if you are not taking this technology, you're not taking this product. Of course, still early days, and we're still reaching out to the world markets to let everybody know how this works and how significant this breakthrough is. Thanks, Stevie. So redox molecules are vital to life and health. These redox molecules are naturally produced inside every cell. And they detect cell damage so they can be repaired or replaced. Increases the cell's production of glutathione, the most powerful antioxidant that protects against cell damage and oxidative stress. Fundamental for the immune system, protecting against harmful bacteria, viruses and infection. Let me just read that again. We can't make any claims, but let me just read that statement again. Fundamental for the immune system, protecting against harmful bacteria, viruses and infection. So very significant technology, very significant product, completely non-toxic, can't hurt anybody. Incredible product. Let's go on to the next part. A lot of people ask me when I'm talking to them, sharing this technology with people, they say, well, Mal, if I've got these redox molecules in my body, why do I need to ingest more? Why would I need to drink more of this product? And the answer is a good question. The answer is that we maximize the production of these redox molecules in our body, native to our body. We maximize the production of these redox molecules at puberty, 12, 13, 14, 15. And as we age, we drop production about 1% a year. So 10% per decade, we drop production. And it's the reason why somebody who's in their 70s or 60s, and when they fall over, if they hurt themselves, they graze themselves, cut themselves, it takes longer to heal. Take a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, they fall over, they cut themselves, they bounce back very quickly, their energy level, but also they heal very, very quickly. And it's because they have an abundance of these redox signaling molecules in their bodies. Well, of course, now we can also ingest these redox molecules and carry on like teenagers as well, which is incredible. And you will see changes when you take this technology in vibrancy and energy levels and sleep patterns. I think I'll talk about that in a little while. Thanks, Stevie. This is, I believe, the fastest growing area of medical science in the world right now. So we have over 32,000 peer-reviewed articles. And I think now we're up to 1,700 or 1,800 books that have been published on redox signaling molecules. Some of them are pretty heavy. Some of them are fairly easy to read, but a lot of them, I tried some of these in the very early stages, and it was complex. I'm not an atomic medical physicist. It's complex, but some of them are fairly easy to read. In fact, I'll share with you some articles, I think, that from Dr. Gary Samuelson in a minute. But suffice to say, very fast area of medical science. For decades, scientists have tried to produce these molecules outside of the body because of their significant importance for health and vitality. In fact, from the start to the time that ASEA had stabilized these redox molecules, in total it was about 17 years. It wasn't ASEA, the company, that began the journey. It was another biotech company. They began that journey in 1998, as did many other companies, as a result of 3 Italian scientists winning a double Nobel Prize in 1998 for understanding the significance of redox molecules in the human body. Prior to that, they really didn't understand what they did, what they were for. They actually thought they were a waste out of the cell and served no purpose. And in 1998, these 3 scientists, these 3 Italian scientists, won a double Nobel Prize for understanding the significance of these molecules. And then, of course, the race was on to try and produce them outside of the human body. And this company has done it, the only company on the planet that produces these. So after 2 decades, millions of researchers, scientists managed to produce stabilized RSMs, redox signaling molecules, in perfect balance, exactly as found in healthy cells. The redox molecules that you see in a bottle of ASEA are identical to redox molecules in your body. Redox molecules are redox molecules. Redox signaling molecules are redox signaling molecules. The same as you have in your body is exactly the same as the redox molecules in the bottle produced by ASEA. Thank you, Stevie. Very heavily patented. I've mentioned this a few times. And for a businessman, to have a business like this, have a technology like this that is totally protected. We have no competition. To be able to take this to market, what we're giving you, if you're looking at this for the first time, what we are giving you, somebody has introduced you, we're giving you the rights, the opportunity of being able to take this to the market around the world and create an income stream based on your ability to enterprise. If you enterprise a lot, the rewards are enormous. If you enterprise a little, then they're a little. It really depends on what you want, but this is the opportunity that each of us has to take this technology to the world with no competitor. It truly is incredible. Thanks, Stevie. This is the plant based in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Again, they're the 3 products that contain redox signaling molecules, the liquid on the left, and then the Renew 28 and the serum. And oftentimes, over the years that I've shared this with people, one of the first things people do is they go to Google, and I share with people, look, Google is a search engine. It's not a research engine. If you want to do your own research, there's 2 places to go. Go to Google Scholar. Have a look in Google Scholar, and the other place to go to is PubMed, PubMed, publicmedicine.gov, PubMed.gov, which is a US-based site, got nothing to do with ASEA, and it stands for publicmedicine.gov. And you can go into that site and research redox signaling molecules. You can research that, but sometimes, sadly, really people go to Google and it comes up, it's just expensive salt water, because the core elements of this technology are salt and water. Then it goes through a 3-day molecular restructuring process to produce these redox signaling molecules, exactly as it does in the human body. And there's 3 reasons, common sense reasons, why this is not salt water. And these are 3 ways you can determine immediately that it's not. Number 1, if you put somebody saying there's no sound,
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, maybe it's somebody's internet's just a little bit slow. Can somebody else just put in the chat if you can hear me? Okay, if maybe we can just get a few other people that can just put in the chat that you can hear me. Maybe it's just somebody's internet's gone a little bit flat. Yes, all good. Okay, terrific. All good. Thank you. So it might just be a problem with somebody's internet. But let me just go through these, because this is very important, because people trip up on the wrong things. And so there's three reasons when you look at this that you can, common sense reason, you can tell that this is not just salt water. Number 1, put salt water in your right eye. Go and do that. Put salt water in your right eye and tell me how that feels. Or I already know how that feels. Salt water in my right eye, my eye's going to be watery, it's going to be weeping, and it's going to go very red, and it'll be sore. It'll be very sore. If you put redox molecules in your eye, which I do all the time, so let me do that for you right now. Here's some redox molecules. Put them in my eye. I do this 2 or 3 times every single day. no problem. Your eyes will be soothed. Not salt water. If it was salt water, those eyes would be going really red and I wouldn't be able to see. You know, I'd be very sore rubbing my eyes right now. Number two, the owner of this company, Virtus Norton, is an incredible man, incredible human being, a man of utmost integrity and morality, clever man. But it would be unfathomable if he went to the Pacific Ocean and got a bucket of water, bucket of salt water, and took it to the patent's office and said, look, I'd like to patent this, please. And that they would give him multiple, and I'm talking tens of, I'll say between 35 and 60 in there somewhere, but I'm not supposed to tell the exact amount, but between 35 and 60 patents. It would be ridiculous if he just took a bucket of salt water and said, patent this for me, please. It's ridiculous. And the third one, of course, is that every fourth batch that is produced by ASEA, all those batches you're seeing, is independently tested by this company called Bioagilytics. And Bioagilytics is an independent laboratory, no cross ownership with ASEA. ASEA doesn't own them. Bioagilytics doesn't own anything to do with ASEA. An independent laboratory that actually works for 20 of the top 25 pharmaceutical companies. And they certify, and they do a test on every fourth batch to certify that they're full of bioactive redox signaling molecules. So they're the three tests you can say, share with people when they say, oh, I think it's just salt water, because they get that from when they go to Google. Well, you can see that there's companies around that might not be as excited about this technology as we are. I won't say any more than that, but you can draw your own conclusions from that statement. And so it's kind of obvious. But anyway, that's kind of hopefully helped answer that question. Thank you, Stevie. So this gentleman here, incredible human being, when I first went to look at this technology back in late October 2014, I was with Danny Doyle. We ended up in the boardroom and I was sitting next to this man. I didn't know who he was. I'd never heard of a Dr. Gary Samuelson, but a very humble man, very quiet man, very unassuming man. In my opinion, this is Mal Sword's opinion, this man should have received a Nobel Prize for what he did, stabilizing this technology. He's an incredible human being, very clever man. And this is what he says about this technology. That's a book that he's written aside. That is a readable book, by the way. That is a book that you can read and you will be able to comprehend that. Let me just share with you a part of what he shares in this book. The redox signaling process is remarkable because it is the process that allows us to regenerate tissue and maintain our normal function and capacities. This technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we have ever seen. Now, this man is an atomic medical physicist. He doesn't own shares in the company, and he has made a lot of videos. I watched him in interview last year, early 2019, and one of the comments he made on that interview was, he said, we now believe this is potentially the most significant health breakthrough for the next 100 years. Not the last 100 years, the next 100 years. And we all know on this call how much technology is going to change. But I think it's testament to what he thinks about the significance of this breakthrough. And he was the man who helped stabilize these molecules when they were, many scientists said to Virtus Norton, you'll never stabilize them. Well, this is the man responsible for stabilizing these molecules. Incredible human being. Thanks, Steve. This is I believe he's either a chiropractor or he's a vet. He's an American gentleman. I've not met him. I believe his name is Dr. Moran. And he wanted to prove or show or disprove or anyway, he decided to use the Renew 28 down one side of his face, just on one side. You can see clearly it was the right-hand side of his face, left of screen, but right-hand side of his face. And you can see the difference visibly within 1 month of using the Renew 28 on his face. Look at the right-hand side, almost looks like it's the face has dropped on that side. It's not that it's dropped, the other side's lifted. You can see the angle on his glasses are almost on the left-hand side of his face, looks like they've dropped. And after a month, his wife kind of said to him, you look ridiculous, stop doing it. So he now uses the Renew 28 on all of his face and not just down one side, but you can visibly see. And oftentimes people say, I want to see what it does. I want to see what it does for me. But there's just so much evidence of what this technology does. A very good website to look at if you want to look into the testimonials. One of the ones I send people is if you go to www.redox, R-E-D-O-X, experiences with an S on the end, redoxexperiences.com, password protected, and the password is associate with a capital A. And you'll see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials on this technology and what it's done for people from lots of different challenges, health challenges that they've had. So very good website to send people to. Thanks, Stevie. This is some common, what you call wrinkles, just wrinkles. And this man just used it for a few days. But let me just address the protocol of this technology. And this is after 10 years, nearly 11 years now, of protocol in looking at this technology. A few percent, let's say 3-5% of people start using this product and they see benefits within days, very, very quickly. I've been amazed. Some people, they see almost instant change within a few days, but it's the minority of people, not most people, it's a minority of people. 30% of people will see a change in 30 days, 60% in 60 days, 90% in 90 days, and about 10% take a little bit longer. My dear old auntie in the Blue Mountains, it was 4.5 months before she had a massive breakthrough. But she was dealing with a challenge. I won't say what it was, but she was dealing with a health challenge that she had had for over 30 years. And so it was 4.5 months before she got a breakthrough. Now, I tease her that I tell people that, you know, she drinks a lot of this. She's now 88. I think she'll be 89 this year. I hope that's okay to say that. She'll be 89 this year. And she drinks an enormous amount of this technology in the redox signal molecules because her favorite nephew, me, pays for it. But I'm very happy to keep her alive. She's more vibrant now at 88 than she was 10 years ago. And the thing that she's done that's changed is to ingest these redox molecules. And I have no doubt she's going to make 100 easily because of, I believe, because she's taking so much of this technology product. Thanks, Stevie. So this the young man's gone from not so many dates to lots of dates. You can tell he's excited. And there's every reason to be excited. What a change in his appearance. This next slide was actually a condition. Again, I won't mention what it is, but it was an autoimmune disorder that I had suffered for many years, 43 years, in fact. And every single doctor that I'd ever been to said, Mal, you'll never get rid of that. It's an autoimmune problem, won't move it. And only as a result of this technology that I have been able to see incredible changes. Thanks, Stevie. Next slide. This is some blemishes, face blemishes, and you can clearly see on the left-hand side of the screen the 3 little blemishes that this lady has. But just take a look under that that little red square on the left-hand side of the screen. It's like one of those pictures, you know, you compare the left and the different photos. Have a look at the neck on the left and then the neck on the right, and see the difference in the lines on this lady's neck. It's been incredible. A change with her skin. Thanks, Stevie. So this is really good. These are 2 companies. Stevens and Associates, a US company. Dermatest is a German company. On the left-hand side of screen, you'll see results on a 4-week study on the Renew 28. And this is very significant statistics. The most significant one of those marker changes is the 50% increase in blood flow. That's a very powerful marker, very powerful change. Again, that's a US-based company. That was on the Renew 28, the trials on the Renew 28, 4-week study. On the right-hand side, a Dermatest, German-based company, did the test, an 8-week trial on the serum, on the Renew serum, which is a more concentrated, the Renew Advanced, the serum, more concentrated version. And look at the markers there. And 95% of the people that were in the trial group said they wanted to actually purchase the product. Well, I wonder why. Look at the amazing results they had. Dermatest has given that product, the serum, a 5-star rating. And Dermatest won't give anything a 5-star rating if any one of the respondents has an adverse effect on the product. If any one respondent has a problem, they won't give it a 5-star rating, and we have a 5-star rating on the serum. Thanks, Stevie. So there you go. After 4 weeks, 90% of the trial participants, sorry, I think I overstated at 95, should have been 95. After 4 weeks, 90% of the trial participants said that they wanted to purchase the products. Again, no toxicity. That's the magic, none of the magic, no toxicity. So inside out with the redox molecules and the outside in with the Renew 28. So C replenishes the redox molecules, improves cell renewal and helps systems of our body to function optimally at every age. So if you're on the call and you are well, you don't know there's anything wrong with you, of course none of us know that, but let's say you say, I'm fine, I'm at good age, healthy, well, you start taking the redox molecules. These are some of the things that we hear all the time, that people say when they're on the product, they put less fatigue, better sleep patterns, improved health, improved mood, and less discomfort. Let me just speak to this very briefly. The bottle you're seeing there is a litre, and that will last on a maintenance dose. That will last a week. People that are unwell, if people got some serious situations, health challenges, the dosage will vary. How much you take will vary. Please speak to somebody. I won't go through that this evening, but you can talk to somebody that can kind of help you with that. But if you're just looking at this for the first time, we live in a very instant society. People want to see the results, and they want to see the results quickly. So if the maintenance dose is 1 bottle a week, if you take 2 bottles a week instead of taking 1 liter a week, if you take 2 liters per week, double the dose for the first month anyway, you will see amazing results. And a lot of people, most people that I introduce, that's what I do. If they can manage it, they can afford to do that. I do that with them so they can feel what it does in their bodies very, very quickly. Then after that, you just come down to on the second month, just come down to the maintenance dose of 1 bottle per week. Thanks, Stevie. Athletes, significant impact for athletes, but we're all kind of athletes these days. We've all got busy lives, and I still got a busy life, and got lots of children to look after, and I'm busy than ever with a business right now, and so a lot of us need extra energy and strength and mental stamina. So whilst I'm not an Olympic athlete, we're all athletes in one way or another. Thanks, Stevie. There's a very good link you can go to, athletes.aseaglobal.com, and a very good link where you can get lots of information about various athletes and their testimonials that are using this product, using this technology. Thanks, Stevie. This is a little report from the Huffington Post. This was produced June of 2016. And here are 5 of the craziest game-changing technologies that are starting to take off in 2016. Again, this article was June of 2016. Pay attention. Some of these will shape our lives in the coming years. Number 4, redox signaling technology. Redox signaling molecules have been around for eons, but it isn't until recently that we've learned about their central importance in our health on a cellular level. New technologies are emerging that insert healthy redox signaling molecules into your body, helping to repair and replenish your aging cells. Since we are made up entirely of cells, every organ in the body can potentially benefit from this incredible new technology. Thank you, Stevie. Okay, let me just go briefly into the business plan. And again, this allows you to be able to look at developing an income stream, and you can generate significant income, serious income, by developing this business. How much sorry, getting a few people that are saying the sound's breaking up. Not sure if that's my end, Stevie, or whether that's on people's internet.
I'm hearing you and that crow loud and clear.
Okay, the big crow. I might just let me close the window on him.
Maybe just another sound check if everyone in the... Oh, thank you. I can see it already come through. Sounds perfect. You've got a crow crowing at you. All fine. I'm good. Awesome. Thumbs up. All good. Excellent. Thank you, folks. Sounds all good here, Mel. Everyone all says good. So. Yep.
Sorry about the crow. I can't really do much about him. All right. Next slide. Thank you. So this is the business model. It's a word of mouth model. It's about connecting with people. You make referrals exactly as you would with a restaurant or, or a movie you really liked. It's word of mouth. It's developed that way. And it's actually the best way of moving a product to market. And it's not complicated. There's a multitude of different ways of doing this. You know, I'm kind of old school. I built my business just by reaching out to people on the phone. I'm learning to, as I mentioned earlier on, I'm learning to work. I'm working with a mate of mine who's teaching me a little bit about social media and that kind of thing, but not terribly competent. But there's many ways to be able to reach out to people and connect with people. But this is a people business. It's really about developing community, developing organizations, developing distribution channels which are based on people. Thanks, Stevie. You refer contacts, you'll get paid every time you use the products, month after month, year after year. But of course, those contacts then refer other contacts, refer other people, and the business is truly international. We have the technology, even on this platform with Zoom, to be able to reach out to. I do this work with this Zoom platform in multi-countries around the world now. It's incredible how times have changed, the ability and the capacity we have to reach out to hundreds or thousands of people, you know, from our kitchen benchtop, from our kitchens using the Zoom platform. Ultimately, a business like this, the beauty of building a business like this properly is to create residual income. We have 93, 94 people on the call right now. I'm going to suggest that most of us on this call would love to have residual income. whatever that might be. It could be $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $50,000 a month. But it's when you create residual income, it's income that goes on after the work's been done. That's the beauty about building a business like this. Now, it doesn't take 2 weeks. You know, it's going to take a process of time. It doesn't need to take forever though, but a good guide with this business at this time in this market to create residual income. And I want to be realistic. I don't, you know, but some people have done it much faster than this. I had friends that have done it much, much quicker than this, but somewhere between, let's say, 9 months and 3 years. That's a good guide for you to be able to look at this as a business and put in 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and create your residual income. I think a lot of people are realizing that that's very important, especially at these times, these uncertain times. So you'll be paid from people your contacts refer, and again, it's people refer, and their friends tell their friends, and so on. You can now earn residual income in 35 countries, but even in markets that we're not fully open on, you can still build distribution channels. In markets that are not fully open, I have distribution channels in the little island of Martinique and Guadeloupe and Reunion Island. They're not open markets, but they indirectly through France that you can develop organizations there. In this way, we create distribution channels around the world, and the channels start with you referring positive people to us. So you build your distribution channels this way. This is exactly how it works. You know, people refer people, they know other people, and we're looking for people who are entrepreneurial, visionary. Look, some people just want to use the product and take the product. They don't want to build a business. That's fine. They're most welcome. Again, one of the comments I made a little earlier is that this really is a smorgasbord. You know, you take out of this, there are people on the call right now that if you had an extra $500 a month coming in would be a real blessing to you. And there's people on this call that would like to be making 50,000 and up from that. I understand that. But this is a smorgasbord. You take out of this exactly what you want, work together with a person that's invited you to this call, reach out to them and ask them to help you. We don't introduce somebody to this and say, well, good luck, hope you make it. It doesn't work like that. We work to help each other. We create communities together, develop organizations, and we do what we can to support and help each other. So it's a phenomenal business model to, you know, help one another to build a business like this. Not complicated. It does take just reaching out to people. So you can build your distribution channels around the world. I mentioned before that this Asian one, this Australasian region, I believe is going to be the biggest market. I'm challenged on that sometimes by the Americans, but I happen to think this is going to be the biggest region on the planet for this technology, supported by the fact that you know, there's more people in this region than any other region on the planet. Thanks, Stevie. Next slide, please. So what you do is, what you choose to do is completely up to you. Again, we're simply here to help you, guide you. For many of us on this call, this has been the most incredible journey. It's the most incredible business journey that I've ever had in my whole life. I tell people very openly, I've waited all my life for this company, for this technology, and for this opportunity to be able to create something of significance as a legacy to my children, and you have the same opportunity. There's nothing that I've done or any of the leaders have done that you can't do. It does take some development, personal growth and development, and working on yourself and being able to communicate with other people as best we can. But that's you know, we do that progressively, and you'll be helped as you start. Business is designed in part-time. Kind of mentioned that 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, 2 to 3 hours per day. So, you know, 8 to 15 hours a week is ideal. As an indie business, cost of starting, but not capital based. You know, $60 to open your account, really no barrier to entry, but we're already capitalized. We don't need people's money. We look for people who are enterprising. So this is very good news for a lot of people right now, because for obvious reasons, but you know, $60 to get into a business where you don't have any overheads, you don't need to have staff, you don't need to have stock, you don't need to have premises. Very simple business. You can build it from home. There's lots of product packages. I won't go through those this evening. A person invited you can go through them. Suffice to say, you get one shot at those. When you open your account, I can't go back and buy some of these incredible packages once I'm an associate. You get one shot at the packages, because there's free samples, and there's extra value you can get when you enroll. I won't go through those, but the person invited you to the call can go through those with you. Thanks, Stevie. 8 different ways to earn income. Again, the person invited you to the call can go through that with you. There's lots of links that we can send you to so you can learn about the compensation plan. But in brief, the compensation plan is simple. It's based on volume. The greater the volume that you create, the more income that you create. It's normal. That's the nature of business. So if you create little volume, there'll be little income. If you create massive volume, there'll be massive income. So it's about creating that volume. Thanks, Stevie. Okay, so the business is simple to do, something anyone can do, and it works. Again, it's not complicated. So we give you some training, we'll help you. And let's just go to the next slide. Business simple, quick start training. You climb the mountain. Every one of us starts as associate, every single one of us. So again, this is 4 years ago. I started at that level, associate, and we just start working our way up the mountain. How far you go really depends on the size of your dream, your vision, your purpose, kind of income you want. Let me give you a couple of examples in Australian dollars. The bronze executive level, you can see it 1, 2 from associate, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels up, if you like, 4 steps up the mountain. In Australian dollars, that would yield you $2,500 to $3,000 per month with the EMP, the Executive Momentum Pool. If you go up to the platinum executive level, you can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4 more steps up. In Australian dollars, that would give you somewhere around $12,000 to $14,000 per year. I want to just make a point, if I may. My recommender, Danny Doyle, who has a very massive organization, and he was able to do that in pre-launch in about 12 months. While before the company had even fully launched in Australia, he was able to do that. When I caught up with him again, that was the rank he was at, was Platinum Executive. He showed me his back office, and he was earning about $15,000 a month, and he'd done that in pre-launch. And so you can build that very quickly. That's entirely up to you. Build it slowly, build it quickly, but best if I can give you any advice, build it fast, build it quickly. It's a little bit like, remember when we were kids, you got a Band-Aid on you. Some kids used to like taking the Band-Aid off one hair at a time. Best just to get the work done. Get it done. Get to the lifestyle. Get your business growing. It's built with excitement, energy, and belief and expectation. That's how you do it, and that's how you'll attract other good people to your organisation. Thanks, Stevie. Get a virtual office. Very easy to navigate. I'm able to say that actually because most of you, or many on the call, know that I'm not super high tech. I am kind of learning, but very easy back office to navigate. Lots of information. When you enroll, when you open your account for $60, you get all of this complimentary. All of this is part of your enrollment. You get access to your back office. You can see the vital statistics of your business, your organization, who's coming in, volumes. You can track everything with your own virtual office. It's very efficient, very effective. Thanks, Stevie. So we will become one of the biggest health companies within the health, wellness, and anti-aging industries of all time. I have absolutely no doubt about this at all. We have a protected science, protected category of technology, protected technology, and really it is an incredible time. And it's getting better all the time. We have more countries we're reaching into. We have more science, we have more validation, we have more testimonials, and we have more key leaders coming in and taking a position and understanding the significance of this incredible technology. You know, we want you to come on with us, to join us. We're going to do it anyway, but it's much more fun if we find bigger leaders and really help develop and drive this company to $1 billion. You know, many of us want to do that while Vertus is still here as a give back to him. Thanks, Stevie. Time for action. When you build a business like this, let's go to the next slide, Stevie. Quick start training. You're looking to identify and refer to people who want to make some changes right now. To build a business, maybe you just want to use the product, that's fine. But, you know, it's the business builders that grow this. But wherever you're at the moment, that's fine. Either is really good. Let's just go to the next slide. Understand that when you build a business like this, like any business, some people are going to see it and some people are not going to see it. So, you know, you can go up, you can go down, you can come like an emotional roller coaster. Just be level. Just understand that some people are going to join you straight away. Some may never join you. Some might join you down the road. It might be a good timing for people right now. I mean, I believe this is the greatest timing. There's more people in the world than ever, I believe, looking for an opportunity, looking to supplement or create additional income streams for obvious reasons, from a business that's not capital-based. But when you reach out to people, sometimes you think, this person, I know they're going to jump on board with me, and they don't. Don't let it hurt you. It's just fine. It's a little bit like the example I use. If you're a plumber and you go and quote 10 jobs, you don't get 10 jobs, you get 3. Well, that's just the way the business is. And it's like that with this business as well. Some will and some won't. But keep moving. You'll find your key people. Just keep your search up. 3 types of people that when we take this to them: the red apples, green, and not so green, like rottenish. It doesn't mean to say they're rotten people. I wish we could find another thing for that. But anyway, the red apples they're people that just say yes. They look at this kind of like I was when I reconnected with Danny. I kind of like, I'm ready to go. My situation was I had to do something, and so the timing was perfect for me to see what Danny was doing, and I didn't want to get him to leave me behind. So I kind of yes. And that's what I look for, people ready to go right now. The green apples are kind of like questions, that's fine. We're happy to answer those questions and either move you up and into the business, or maybe you just want to use the product, that's fine. And then the last one is people that they just know it's not for them, that's fine. It's fine. We don't need everybody, not everybody's looking for a business opportunity, clearly. And that's fine. Doesn't mean to say they're rotten people, they're just not looking for an opportunity, and that's fine. Next slide, please. So when you go to the market, this is what you're going to find. You'll get some green apples, get some red apples, and get some rotten apples. And look, I know every one of you want to go to market and find every single person a red apple. And when you find out how to do that, please let me be the first to know, because it's never worked like that for me. I've got to go through the numbers to find all of those, to sort through to find the red apples. It's kind of just the sifting and sorting process. It's not sales, because I'm not trying to sell people into this. Please understand. This is not a sales business. This is a sifting and sorting process. I'm just looking for the people who look at this and say, Mel, I really don't care what you're doing. I'm going to build this. I get it. I understand the significance of the technology, especially into the world today. I need to generate income quickly. I can see it's not capital based. And just by connecting to people, and they're the red apples, and they're the ones that we're looking for to help build a business like this. So you will find red apples, and here's what I've learned over the years, that if I'm a red apple, I'm likely to attract red apples. A monkey will produce a monkey, and a rabbit will produce a rabbit, and a red apple begets red apples. And so, so that's kind of how it works. If you're a red apple, if you're very excited, you will also attract other red apples. And ultimately, you want your organization to be filled with leaders on leaders on leaders. And this is absolute a truth in life. Leaders find leaders. So when you find a red apple, they'll find a red apple. And that red apple finds a red apple, because they're prepared to go through the sifting and sorting process. It's not that they're lucky. It's not that they just happen to find all the red apples. They're just prepared to go through the process of the sifting and sorting process to find the next red apple and the next red apple. It's just what we do. We just go through the numbers. But always leave the door open. Please don't, trash anybody if they're not ready. I've enrolled people years later. They weren't really looking when I first, connected with them, but, the circumstances changed, and they came back into the business, came to the business sometime down the track. So leave the door open for people. If it's not the right time, that's fine. Thank you, Stevie. So call the person who invited you, join us in the business. It's an incredible journey. I'm regarded as a veteran in the industry now. I've now had, I think, about 28 years in the industry. And I know that there are people on this call that have had, more than that. But in all my 28 years, I've looked at so many businesses, watched so many businesses. But for me, this is the finest company, finest technology. It's just like you could not find yourself in a better place, with a better group of people, with a better technology in the world. What you do with this is entirely up to you. I wish you great success. If I can help you in any way, then reach out. I'm kind of busy, but I do have times to be able to do what I can to help you. Let me just say this, if I can, before I hand you back to Stevie. I just want to share with you a few things. This Saturday morning, I believe it's 10 o'clock in New Zealand and 8 o'clock in Australia, on the East Coast in Australia. We have the #1 income earner with a SEA going to be doing some training. I've invited her to do special training for the Kiwis ostensibly, but everybody else can join in too. Anyway, that's going to be at 10 o'clock in New Zealand time. So Trish Schwenkler is there's #1 income earner in the world. And so we'll have her probably for about 45 minutes, and she'll be doing some training. I think it'll be kind of a question and answer session. This time next week, we're going to be doing another one of these. And I have a diamond lady, very successful in the business. Her name is Christina Williams. She's going to be doing that this time next week. I tease her that I've taught her everything she knows. She was actually my ex-wife. And Christina is going to be doing that presentation, a presentation for you this time next Thursday. 2 weeks from now, which I believe, don't quite get the date, I think it's the 23rd. So 2 weeks out from tonight, from this time, Trish Schwenkler is going to be doing the presentation, Discover a SEA presentation. I've asked her to do it. What's very special about that is that it's 1 a.m. in the morning for her. And here she is, the #1 income earner of the world, still prepared. I reached out to her because we want to do what we can to help the folks in New Zealand to get going. And she said, I'm very happy. Now, she's scheduled to come there later on in the year. We get through this virus and we travel, get on planes again. She's scheduled to come, but she's doing these events specifically for New Zealand. This one on Saturday. But then also 2 weeks from tonight, she's going to be doing the Discover ASEA presentation. So that'll be great. And I'm looking forward to listening in and listening to this incredible lady. So thank you very much for attending. I think I went a little bit over. I do apologize, went a little bit longer. Apologize for that. Let me just close. Thank you, Stevie, for hosting this again. Really appreciate you doing this again for me to host this session. Thank you very much. I'll just pass back to you. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. I hope it's been helpful, and look forward to joining you and having you join us on this incredible journey with this incredible company. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
We appreciate your time, Sword Master, and for all your wisdom and information you shared this evening. It was brilliant, as usual. I'm just going to go and stop the recording here.